Well, the ATF gun runner and Fast and Furious operations, which spanned both the Bush and the Obama administrations, are two of the most stunning government operations to have come unraveled in years. Tonight, new and stunning accusations about Fast and Furious and why one high-ranking drug cartel official says Americans have it all wrong. Ben has the reality check you won't see anywhere else.
We've told you before that Justice Department memos obtained by CBS prove that the feds plan to use the numbers from Fast and Furious to push for stricter gun laws in the U.S. The attempt was to claim that the majority of guns headed into Mexico and being used by drug cartels were coming from the United States. But that is simply not true. Well, today, TheBlaze.com began reporting excerpts from a soon-to-be-released book titled The Weed That Just Won't Die by Reed Williams. Williams looks into federal documents surrounding the case of Jesus Vicente Zambada Nebla, known as the Sinaloa Cartel's logistics coordinator. Now, this guy was extradited to Chicago last year to face federal drug charges. Now, before we get into all that, we should explain how the drug trade in Mexico worked prior to the start of this drug war. For decades, Mexican drug cartels existed independently of each other. They didn't work together, but they did stay out of each other's regions. So to understand, take a look at this map. These are the major cartels in Mexico. We'll start over here in this top corner. This is the Arellano Felix organization up here in orange. It has trade routes into Southern California through Tijuana, and it's a very profitable group. The Beltran Leyva organization is a less large cartel, but still pretty powerful. There's Los Zetas. That's this whole pink area right here. They're actually a paramilitary group created by our government. They were actually trained to take out cartel leaders, but went into Mexico and became a cartel of their own. Then you have the Gulf Cartel, who has been heavily at war with Los Zetas. Down here in the dark green, you have La Familia Michoacana. You have the Creo Fuentes organization. That's up here in this little purple one. They actually look like they would be the smallest territory, and land-wise they are. But they're actually one of the most powerful drug cartels in many ways because their routes go up through West Texas, through El Paso, and Ciudad Juarez. And finally, and this is very important to the story, is this light green right here. That is the territory of the Sinaloa cartel. Look, if you want to understand Mexico's drug war, then you have to understand how the Sinaloa cartel works. A man by the name of Joaquin Guzman, also known as Chapo Guzman, is the head of this cartel. In 2001, Guzman was being held in a Mexican prison. He actually escaped from that prison in a laundry truck. He went back and took control of the Sinaloa cartel. And when Guzman did, he began a war with all these other cartels across Mexico. The goal here, the attempt, was to create one super cartel by wiping out all of the competition. It has been long believed in Mexico that Joaquin Chapo Guzman got a lot of help. And that is the war that has been fought in Mexico heavily since 2006. So back to the Fast and Furious allegations here. The man making those claims, again, Zambada Nebla, is a close associate of Chapo Guzman and the Sinaloa cartel's logistics coordinator. Zambada Nebla claims that under a divide-and-conquer strategy, the U.S. helped finance and arm the Sinaloa cartel through Operation Fast and Furious in exchange for information that allowed the DEA, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and other federal agencies to take down rival drug cartels. The Sinaloa cartel was allegedly permitted to traffic massive amounts of drugs across the U.S. from 2004 to 2009. During both Fast and Furious and the Bush-era gun-running operations, as long as the intel kept coming. And there is more. Based on the alleged agreement, the Sinaloa cartel, under the leadership of the defendant's father, Ismael Zambada Nebla, and Chapo Guzman, were given carte blanche to continue smuggling tons of illicit drugs into Chicago and the rest of the United States. They were also protected by the United States government from arrest and prosecution in return for providing information against rival cartels, which helped Mexican and United States authorities capture or kill thousands of rival cartel members. States of Motion filed for discovery in United States District Court by Zambada Nebla's attorney in July of 2011. So what you need to know is that members of Congress from both parties should now say, look, let's demand to see everything, every single file connected to Fast and Furious and Operation Gunrunner. That means Republicans should not be focused only on the years when the Obama administration had control. Rather, go back to the beginning during the Bush administration. And Democrats, they should be demanding to see exactly what the ATF has been doing. Not just for the nearly 50,000 Mexican citizens who have died during this drug war, but for the thousands who are yet to die. And that is Reality Check.
If you'd like to make your voice heard on the story, head over to Ben's Facebook page. Find it by searching Ben Swan, WXIX.